I have 6 o'clock. I know that everybody's got busy schedules, so I say we get started. Everybody ready for tonight?
If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have said it wasn't going to happen.
Well, we're here. We're this far. Just wanted to thank everybody. I know it's been a rough 6 weeks with a lot of work by each of you. Thanks for sticking through it. And most importantly, I thank you for your patience as we've migrated through this COVID-19. This is something that none of us anticipated, and what that has done to change and impact our lives and how we do business. But I really appreciate you all continuing to tough it out and be with us through it. And we got one more come on, and let me move her over. And so kind of a recap of what's going to happen tonight. Of course, this is your pitch night, and our judges are in different locations, and that's a first to have business pitches done this way. But what I have done is I have opened up and made each one of you all, panelists, so that when it's your time to present, you can take over the screen and share your laptop or screen, or you show your face, or however you want to pitch your business idea. Remember, you've got 8 minutes, and Mary is going to be my keeper of the clock to make sure we stay within that 8 minutes. The judges have all the information on the scorecard, which I gave you all earlier in the week, a sample of the scorecard and how they're going to be judging. After the 8 minutes, we are going to allow, if the judges have any kind of questions for you, to make sure they fully understand your business concept, what your plans are, etc. We will allow them to do that. Our goal is to help you to explain your business to these folks, and they're going to look at it as if they are a investor, that they're going to invest in your business, and they can only invest in 6 of you, so they have to make that decision. And don't forget, after tonight, if you haven't already, please send me your business plans so that I can send those on to the judges. Just so you know, those judges are not in Buchanan County. They're actually in the Tri-Cities. 2 of them are on the Tennessee side. So I made every effort to keep this, that it would be unbiased, and that there wouldn't be any chance that somebody knows somebody, etc. So we're trying to keep this fair as much as possible. Before we get started, does anybody have any questions about the flow and how we do this tonight? Gosh, I feel all alone here. Just remember, when it's your time to unmute your mic and turn on your video or screen sharing. So I know, Mary, you've got some judges on your end. Does any of the judges or anybody have any questions before we get started?
Anybody have a question?
No.
Understand the rules?
Yep.
Give me just 1 minute to talk to them, and I'll be right back.
And contestants, do you all have any questions of how this is going to happen tonight?
I'm just going to blunder through it.
That's the way we all do it. And again, I know this is a first for all of us. I've never done a business challenge and have a pitch night like this, but this seems like I told Mary earlier, it just seems like this is how my life's been for the last 6 weeks, is Zoom, 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 and a few other programs in between that. So I miss getting to be able to network with people, to be quite frank. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get started. So I guess if there's not any other questions, I guess, David, you will be the first up.
All right.
Thanks.
And David, just yell if you need anything.
Okay, can y'all see me?
I cannot see you. I hear you, but your video's not on.
All right, let me try to find the video.
There you go.
There you go.
So
Now,
Murray,
make him my full screen instead of me seeing everybody.
it's however you all want to do it. You just have to, up there on the top right, just make it for one screen.
Top right.
Click on him. When you click on him, right there, see those buttons?
I got somebody telling me.
Okay.
Thank you.
And David, you just say when Mary, you ready to start the clock?
I'm ready.
Okay, David, it's all
All right,
yours.
guys. Okay, thank you. Sandy and Murray, y'all done an awesome job, and we appreciate it. What we're going to do, we're going to do a side-by-side and four-wheeler and a motorcycle repair shop. We're going to cater to the out-of-towners and the Buchanan Counters. You know, we're going to have a shop in the back and a storefront in the front. We're going to sell like sweatshirts and t-shirts and merchandise. And along the side of the repair shop, we're going to have an ATV wash where we can just pull your ATV in and we can wash it, or you can wash it. It's just going to be just like a car wash. We're going to have a recovery team. If you're out on a trail, spearhead, or if you get broke down, we're going to be able to come out and get you. We're going to have a guide service too. The out-of-towners, they'll come in and, you know, they might not know the trails. So we're going to have a person, 2 people to show them around. They're going to be like 2 hours, 6 hours, and 8 hours. And we're going to build a go-kart track too. That's what I think is going to be the special thing about it. We're going to have a rentable go-karts for kids that ages from 12 and under that can come up and actually ride them, or the parents can ride with them. And we're going to have a drag strip. It's going to be 300 feet long. It's just going to be like, if you go down and watch at Bristol, it's going to have the lights, the white lights as the finish lights, determine who's the winners. But it's very exciting, the plans we have.
And some things here, I have some data. I'm Christy, David's wife. I work at the Southern Gap Outdoor Adventure, the trailhead at Cole Canyon. So been there since it opened. So I have some data to quantify this business plan that I've been collecting over the course of a couple years on the repair shop. It is much needed at Southern Gap. What I have seen is a lot of course, out of town, out of staters come in. They travel 6-8 hours to come and ride these trails. They get there on day one. They break an axle. They have nothing to ride what time they're there, because there are no parts stores or repair shops trail accessible at Southern Gap. This shop will get a lot of business too from locals due to the location and the accessibility, of course, to the trails. On the tour guide service, we recently, back in October, went on, there was a group of 7 machines that went to Williamson, West Virginia. Hatfield McCoy Trail had a haunted history tour. There were 22 people total there. I counted heads. At $50 per person was the admission fee for that, plus an additional $50 for a permit. There were people there from Ohio, Kentucky, and of course Virginia. It was a guided trail tour, a little bit of history about the area. Had lunch at a local place called Wingo's. All of us did as a group. And in that 8-hour ride, including that lunchtime, about $3,140 was spent there locally at that restaurant. And of course, those other little businesses where we purchase fuel and snacks and things. And what we hear a lot is people will come from out of state, from out of town, even locals love these guided tours. They like to stay with a group. They like to learn the history of the area. And it's just good fun. They will bring families out for it, children included. Some other things on the ATV storage. I've heard it time and time again, even from locals and from people that are out of town or out of state, that they would ride more frequently if they didn't have to go home from work, load their machine and trailer it all the way up to the trailhead to unload it, just to ride, load it back up and take it back home. And the out-of-staters say it's cheaper for them to store an ATV at a place of business located at a trailhead than it is for them to trailer it, across a couple states, 8-10-hour trip, towing that with a tow vehicle and paying that fuel. So we have some data here, to back this up. And then, of course, the go-kart track idea. Spearhead Trails, they're in their annual report. They collected some data and stuff from a survey, and 63% of people that had visited Spearhead's trails said they would come back more frequently if there was more to do while they were in the area where the trails are. That go-kart track would be an added benefit to Buchanan County, for families.
What our goal is outdoor activities. I mean, we don't have any kind of activities for kids, here in Buchanan County. And, a friend of mine went to Gatlinburg and took his boy and rode 10 laps around a track, and it was $30. I mean, we got to find something for the age group, from 16 to 8, something for them to do. And that's going to be one of our goals, is outdoor activities too.
Yes. On the recovery, the ATV recovery, that's another thing I have some quantifiable data here for. In 2019, there were 11 instances of incidents just on Coal Canyon Trail. I think there may have been a couple on the connected Ridgeview Trail too, where a recovery service was needed and was not available. So what they're doing is, these people come in from out of town, out of state, they're lost. They don't know where they're going. They break down. Who do they call? There's nobody that they know here to come to them to help them tow their vehicle out or make that on-site repair or bring that part to them. The recovery is much needed here as well.
The recovery system, we're going to control the Coal Canyon and Ridgeview trails. We can go from, the trailhead at Coal Canyon all the way to Ridgeview
And into breaks.
to get someone, or even to the breaks.
1 minute left.
There's a lot of miles in our county, and with Dixon County too, that, a lot of people ride those, and we've got to have something to recover them if, something happens.
And the ATV wash too, what you hear a lot is people come and ride. Of course, they love the mud. They do not like to load a dirty machine up and take it back home and have that burden of having to unload it and clean it in their own driveway, or, find a local car wash. So that on-site ATV wash station is valuable too, and would benefit the trail riders as well, having that convenience there. If they can spray that machine off and get it garage clean to trailer it, to take it back home.
Yeah, we're just working towards activities outside and for kids.
And that's time.
That worked out good.
Great job.
All right, thank you.
Judges, any questions? But before we go to the judges, someone has joined us via phone. Who is joining us by phone?
Sherry Fletcher.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to check on that. Okay. Questions for David? Judges?
If I
We
may,
have
can you hear me?
We have a question. One question. Here we go.
Have you inquired of what type of liability insurance you would have to have for the drag strip and go-kart area? How those fees would affect your overall profit?
I have, and I've got a guy working on that right now. He's calling the underwriter to get me some quotes on that.
Is that going to be a liability policy per event? Or is it going to be for a year? Or how will you work that?
He actually told me you can get like a day pass by that and a month pass and even up to 6 months at a time.
Okay.
If you want to just have a weekend event, he said you could buy insurance for 2 days.
That's correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Miss Mary, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question. I missed it or something here. Where is this actually going to be located?
Oh, it's going to be at Southern Gap.
Up at the Gap.
It is, yeah.
Will you be, how many employees do you anticipate to employ with this?
Well, at first we're going to start out with 2 mechanics and a storefront personnel. So we're going to employ 3 people starting out.
Okay.
Now, as we have like like we have guys coming up or kids coming up to rent those go-karts, we'll actually have part-time workers helping us on those days. And the event nights on the drag strip, we'll probably inquire at least 10 or 12 people on it.
Now, the drag strip, is it for the event strip you were comparing it to the Bristol's track? Is this for ATVs, UTVs, or for vehicles?
No, it's for ATV and UTVs.
Okay.
It's only going to be 250 feet long. So,
Okay.
A comparable for that, the town of Pennington Gap has an existing ATV and UTV dirt drag strip. It is kind of the model that we use for that.
well, when I said Bristol, it's going to have the lights. It's going to have the burnout box. It's going to be just like a drag strip, but a miniature one.
Okay.
It's only going to be 250 feet long. Yeah, I know. Though, I thought about that same thing you're thinking. Yeah.
What kind of dollars do you see this costing to put this project into place?
Start with the ATV repair shop one. We've got it together.
Well, the ATV repair shop, we're looking at probably about, I'm saying 50 to get it stocked and ready to go.
Okay.
And of course, you know, the drag strip, all I have to do is get the lights, and that's at $2,500. And, you know, most labor work is, you know, we're going to do it. It's going to be no labor cost at all.
Okay.
And the tour guide service, there's really no upfront costs on it either.
Okay. Sounds good. That's all I have. Thank you.
And even the recovery system, we done got machines for it.
Awesome. Will you be doing that yourselves? I guess, do you all ride a lot and be doing that so you know the trails well? I know Miss Christie probably knows all those trails up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are actually going to be two of us that's going to do the recovery, myself and Shane Fletcher.
Okay.
Someone here has another question.
So do you already have a building that's already built on the property and you own the land, or will you be paying the county a portion of your profit, or how do you project that to work?
Now, what they're going to do, they're going to actually give me some property, and then we're going to develop ourselves.
The building will have to be constructed.
Yeah.
That's part, it's in the business plan.
Yeah.
The building will have to be constructed. It's a 40 by 60, pretty much a shell building.
Is that the $50,000 you said it would cost for you to set up, or is the $50,000 for your stock and inventory?
That's going to be both. That's going to be the building structure itself and the stock of parts wise.
Okay.
The tools we've got those. So we're just concentrating on having, the parts and the structure of the building built.
Realistically, you're looking at probably about between 70 and 80,000, including the building and the concrete pad and things that go with it. So, and getting it stocked and ready to open.
Will you be the owner of the building, or will the county be the owner of the building since they're giving you the land?
We will be the owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more? I think they're fine here.
Okay.
Again, guys, I appreciate everybody. Y'all done a great job.
Okay, David, can you turn off your, mute your phone and your video? And Liza, I guess you are next.
All right, let's attempt to do this. Give me 2 seconds. Hi, everybody. I'm Liza King. We're going to try this over PowerPoints this way just because my Wi-Fi is really, really bad. But my husband, Justin, and I are the owners of the Sweet Tricks Bakery here in Grundy. We just, I guess we said we're in partnerships, ownership, transitioning from the previous owner. And I do put my fingers in the way. I'm so sorry. So if you guys can't see, just let me know and I will try to zoom in. But our mission is, as Sweet Trees Bakery and Cafe, we wish to bring our small town fresh homemade desserts daily. Everything we do make is homemade, down to the croissants, down to the chicken salad, down to the donuts. Everything is homemade in our shop. You can ask Ron, he says that we about kill him, with our smell goods. But with our fresh made home goods, we will also want to start opening with offer a delivery special. We do especially birthday cakes, wedding cakes, special occasions, certain types of catering, and just depends on, right now, it just depends on, it's a smaller goal for our catering. Okay. Our mission is to provide a friendly, comfortable atmosphere where our customers can receive quality desserts, drinks, and service at a reasonable price. What's one thing we have started, we get told a lot that our prices are very low and amazing prices, which really, really makes us excited. Our bakery will offer a variety of different desserts, including birthday, wedding cakes. We do pies, donuts, muffins, cinnamon rolls, milkshakes, smoothies, cappuccinos, espressos, coffees, and teas. But we do so much more. We do homemade breads. We do, anything you can think of, we do. We do candies, desserts, just anything you can think of that mom or grandma used to make. We do that in our shop as well. We do also take home desserts in our code cases as well. We will also different types of lunch specials daily. Just a kind of a small little setup would be something like a chicken salad, croissant sandwiches, cold cut sandwiches, grilled cheeses, soups, salads, chips and drinks. Once we get built back up, hopefully we can do maybe meatloaves and spaghettis and just nice little lunch specials. We do want to also, like I said before, start with delivery, and that will be, of course, have to get on our lunch specials. Okay, so we are open, or we'll be open back up Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. And I'm not sure if you guys can see, but this is some of our cakes that we have done. I do apologize on the quality of this. And I wish it was live because like Cindy said last week, I could give some samples, but we're not. So I do apologize again. But some of these are just desserts that we normally keep on hand. Stuff like this, of course, is like our specialties that we have ordered. So our goals and strategies. Our short-term goal, we plan to make a unique and delicious desserts to become well-known establishment in our small community. Our long-term is we wish to expand into a full-time business and open up to a dine-in and introduce catering. At this time, it's just walk in and pick up, or we can do like curbside type thing. And our strategy is we plan to use local newspapers or radio, of course, and Facebook and different types of social media as well. And here's a couple more things. I do apologize on the quality of this. All right. So Sonera's Treats is a huge variety of homemade, fresh quality desserts and drinks at a reasonable cost. Our bakery location is in the center of our business travel and it's with a very easy access. We're ready to go and we are set up and with the majority of our supplies and baking in stock. We already put a word out and ready to take our orders on Facebook. Now, weaknesses is slump in the economy. Before, this is for the judges, before the COVID hit, we had just reopened back up. So we have only been opened about 7, and then the COVID, it literally took us out. But we are prepared to reopen back up. But some opportunities is no other bakeries are in town. Excuse me. We do have some, of course, excuse me, I'm so sorry. There's no local catering services part-time employees are ready to start. Some of our threats will be Food City Deli and the Walmart Deli. And like I said, our location, we're conveniently located along Riverside Drive in Virginia, and this is the main route in and out of the business district into our town. And we are established in Suite 5 in the Strip building, along with the computer clinic, a tattoo shop, a vape shop, and the vinyl shop. And here's a couple more of our desserts. You would have samples by now, so just savor those nice tastes in your mouth. Okay, so for our legal structure, our business will run as a sole proprietorship. All debts and liabilities, excuse me, sorry, my finger, of this business will be our responsibility. We will pay personal income taxes on the profits made, making accounting much easier. We each have separate full-time jobs, my husband and I, and that will cover all of our personal home expenses, which in turn will allow us to deduct all of our business expenses from our business and develop all that profit back into our business. And this is a couple of our shakes. Okay. So for daily accounting, we'll be using Square and then Microsoft Excel. Square is our register and deposit software, and we'll be using Excel at home to keep track of our finances. I do have an associate's degree in business and accounting, and we'll be doing our taxes and we'll be responsible for the periodic statements and monthly tax statements. And if we do require an attorney, we'll be using my uncle, Phil Justice, in the Grundy area. Okay, so our target market, we tend on making a comfortable atmosphere of customers of all age groups and diversities. We expect our majority customers based to come from the middle-aged working class, whether it be stopping to grab a warm muffin and coffee for breakfast or stopping to get dessert for supper on their way home from work. We also hope to expand to a small dine-in establishment, that is one of our main goals, to dine-in, and to establish where our customers can come in and sit down with a freshly made lunch. So our major competitions, while there are no other bakeries or delis in the area, Walmart, Food City, they both do have small sections that do make birthday cakes and some lunch specials, but none of them really offer the actual fresh, and none of them offer actual dine-in delivery or catering. Okay, so for promoting our business, we plan to promote our business through Facebook, the Virginia Mountaineer, which is our local newspaper, radio flyers, and T-shirts. We already have a Facebook page with over 100 followers, and we're ready to take on online orders for custom cakes and desserts. We are going to place ads in the local newspaper along with discount coupons. And then when we do have our grand opening, of course, we'll do something special for the kids, like maybe, free cupcakes or something like that. And then throughout, each month or whatever, we want to offer some specials and for the children, or maybe our essential personnel and stuff like that. Excuse me. But we've made arrangements with the local local radio stations to broadcast for our bakery for special orders and daily specials, and we're going to put flyers around our local businesses and convenience stores, and we're also going in the progress of making our own T-shirts to wear and sell at our bakery.
1 minute left.
Thank you. And this is just a setup of our setup costs. No, we are already set up. So our business license is around $100. Of course, our Virginia Department of Health food license was around $40. Rent's about $500 to $550. We've already bought appliances like our oven. We do have a cold prep table that was like $1,100. We do have a cold case that was around $600. Freezer, stuff like that. And our food stock normally runs about $900 a month. But we want to invest is basically. And then maybe a new pizza oven. We want to get like a oven hood, pizza supplies. We want to get us a heated display case, another cold case, a secondary prep table, deep fryers, the steel prep type tables, and then just specially baking supplies like for custom cakes or for like our peanut allergies and gluten-free type things. And we have our invested in a majority of our appliances and supplies, like I just said, but thank you.
Okay, judges, questions?
Almost there.
Anybody got any questions here? Karen, do you have any questions?
I do, please.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
Miss Liza. This is Karen. On your investment, what you want to do, hi, you want to do the new pizza ovens and your prep tables and your cold case, and I couldn't see what kind of dollar amount are you looking at to need for that, hon?
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me get back to my
Oh, that's
screen. So I
okay.
had it in there.
I couldn't see the dollars. I apologize.
Yeah. It's going to be around about, give or take, about $4,000 to $5,000, just depending on how we find things. We try to bargain a lot, so it's going to be about $5,000 to $6,000.
Okay, that sounds good. Will you be able to keep a lease agreement with your tenant or the person right now? Will you be able to just keep that lease, or do you sign a year at a time, or for your lease agreement there?
Actually, we technically, I'm not sure how other people in the building do, but our lease agreement is pretty much, he's a fantastic man. It's Mr. Al. It's just basically month by month, but he,
Okay.
He is more than happy for us to bring in different types of things into our shop. So he says, as long as he can help, he's willing to, to act, to egg us on and be in our corner.
Sounds good.
And he's also been great with this COVID thing, because where we had a shut shop, he's doing everything he can to help us with, trying to get started back up.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Liza, you indicated that you and your husband both.
You're welcome.
Liza, we have another question. Can you hear her?
Liza,
Yes, ma'am.
you
Barely.
You indicated that both you and your husband work. So will you be hiring an employee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you plan on having?
Yes, ma'am. We right now we actually do have one full-time employee, but she's taking off as well because of the COVID case, or excuse me, the COVID virus. But right now she is our full-time. I work at the health department myself, so I come in as soon as I get off work. And then my husband, he's one of the managers at AutoZone, so he comes in his days off. But we are going to have our full-time that she's already established, and then we want to hire, especially during the summer season, maybe 2 more part-times. And then eventually, if we're doing great, I would love to hire some more full-times.
And all of your desserts, your pizza and everything that you've discussed there, all that will be made in-house?
Yes, ma'am. Everything is homemade. It's made in the shop.
Okay.
It doesn't look like we have any more questions here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liza.
Okay. Latasha, I've got your slides up. Can you see those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you just say when you want me to switch.
Okay. All right. Next slide, please.
Okay, come on. Hang on, let me fix this. Sorry, it worked great before.
It's okay. This is all new and we're going to take it as it goes.
And hang on. I think I'm about to overload it.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. Bear with me, folks. I'm sorry. I had it up before. Now let's see. Why is it not doing it? I don't know why it is not showing me the screen the way it's supposed to be. Y'all making me nervous. Now, can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, for right now, let's just go this direction. And I'll go to the next one. Sorry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Latasha Underwood. I'm married. I'm a mother of two. I was born and raised in McDowell County, West Virginia. In 2008, I became a resident of Buchanan County, and I currently reside at Big Rock. Next slide. My company is Hometown Vinyl. It's formed as a limited liability company. It's a startup business located along Route 460 in Buchanan County at 21052 Riverside Drive. Hometown Vinyl will provide vinyl printing, sublimation printing, embroidery, blanks, and supplies for the home-based hobby crafters. We will employ one person in the initial startup and hope to employ 2 to 3 people by year 3. I do already have some equipment. I have my vinyl plotter, a single needle embroidery machine, and a heat press. Next slide. Vinyl printing is a polyurethane film that is cut with a vinyl plotter or craft cutting machine to produce a design. Usually it's done using one color. However, colors can be layered to produce multicolor images. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Dye sublimation is a computerized printing process that when heat is applied to the ink, it turns into a gas and it dyes the image to the subtrace. Dye sublimation is full color print and it can be done on a variety of surfaces such as wallets, keychains, mouse pads, blankets, t-shirts, socks, and more. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Machine embroidery is where an embroidery machine is used to create patterns, designs, and appliques on textiles. Some textiles include infant sets, toddler birthday applique shirts, adult t-shirts, polos, jackets, blankets, bags, and more. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hometown Vinyl will offer a wide selection of blanks to the home-based hobby crafters. These blanks products will include t-shirts in long and short sleeve length, baseball raglans, sweatshirts, and hooded sweatshirts. Hometown Vinyl will also have sheets and rolls of Caesar heat transfer vinyl and Oracal adhesive vinyl. Next slide, please. I've been doing vinyl for family and friends since I was a freshman in high school. That's when I got my first vinyl machine. This gives me 16 years experience with vinyl. I have 1 year experience with sublimation and 5 years with embroidery. Next slide, please. Hometown Vinyl will offer high quality items for a reasonable price. provide our local community with a greater selection of vinyl than otherwise available, reasonable vinyl prices compared to big box stores, and offer good quality brands such as Jersey, Gildan, Next Level, Anvil, Bella and Canvas, Caesar, and Oracal. Next slide, please. We do have some competition in the local area. Mountaintop Designs and Gifts is located in Grundy, Virginia. They do traditional screen printing, embroidery, and they also offer novelty boutique gifts such as Simply Southern, Vera Bradley, and Candleberry Candles. Bulletproof Screen Printing is located in Dismal, Virginia. They do traditional screen printing, signs and decals, and rhinestone apparel. Neither of these companies offer sublimation printing or blanks and supplies to the hobby crafters. Next slide, please. Hometown Vinyl will be located along the main roadway along Round Fork 60. According to VDOT, our daily traffic volume estimates the average annual weekday traffic is 9,500 vehicles. We will also gain foot traffic from our neighboring businesses, Queen Vapor, Sweet Treat Bakery, King's Computer Clinic, and Hutch Tattoo. The space we will be in is 1,000 square foot and it will be leased monthly. Next slide, please. Our target market for Hometown Vinyl are those between ages 18 and 36. Those that are 18 to 35 prefer custom artwork. Those that are 36 to 65 prefer already created graphic images. We plan to advertise using the following methods: word of mouth with happy customers, social media. Our Facebook group has over 400 followers, and those followers are engaged, they share posts, they tag their friends, and they comment. A YouTube channel, our local newspaper, the Virginia Mountaineer, local radio station, and billboards. Next slide, please. The income projections for Hometown Vinyl are as follows. Year one is projected that we will make $23,676 in annual revenue. Year two, $36,960 in annual revenue. Year three, $49,032 in annual revenue. Next slide, please. At Hometown Vinyl, our goal is to add a variety of on-hand sublimation items, add glitter, epoxy, and tumblers to the list of blanks that we offer. Right now, glitter tumblers are new and they're trending. We hope to purchase a multi-needle embroidery machine so we can embroider a wider variety of items like boots and hats. We hope to purchase a large format printer so we can print photo canvases, banners, and things of that nature for our local photographers, and do car wraps for our local businesses. Our long-term goals are to have competitive prices and turnaround times, contribute to the community, and assist in enhancing the economic wealth of the area while we operate effectively, efficiently, and profitably. Next slide, please. If Hometown Vinyl won the challenge, the funds would be applied by purchasing a point of sale system, which was they run around $1,500. Some more inventory ranging at $2,000, advertising for $500, shelving units for $500, and clothing racks for the blanks for $200, and a new laptop for $300. Next slide, please. I would like to say thank you to all the sponsors and good luck to all the other contestants. Thank you, judges, for taking the time out of the day to do this. Buchanan County Chamber of Commerce, Buchanan County IDA, the Town of Grundy IDA, the VCC, the Thompson's Foundation, SVCC Small Business Development Center, and anyone that I've left off. Thank you.
You have less than 1 minute. You have 50 seconds if you have anything else you want to say.
I'm good to go. I think I've covered everything. I think I've touched base with everything.
Okay. All righty. Anybody have any questions here?
We're good to go. Don't leave her out, Norma. Ask her something.
Somebody else is right.
Ask her out. Ask her something.
I mean, questions are, if I covered it well, then we're good. We're good, right?
It sounds like it. Karen, do you,
So,
wait 1 minute.
so in your presentations, you feel that your blanks that you'll be offering and your stock of like your sister vinyl and stuff like that, do you think that's going to reselling that to the public is going to pull you ahead far enough from all your other competition?
Yes, ma'am. Because, you know, Cricut, I'm sure you've heard of Cricut and Silhouette, home-based craft cutters. That is a popular thing. And I know even by doing it here for friends and family, I get messages all the time. Hey, Tommy needs a shirt for school tomorrow. Do you have 1 foot of royal blue vinyl? So I'm pretty confident that me being able to supply the locals with the vinyl and the blanks that they would need to make it necessary for them to, you know, do it at home on these last minute things like schools. I'm sure you've got last minute memos from school saying, you know, tomorrow's red day, you know, so here you are scavenging trying to find a red shirt. And then if it's like Dr. Seuss week, most people want their kids to wear a theme of Dr. Seuss. So here they are, you know, they got the vinyl cutter, but they need the vinyl and they can just run uptown and grab the vinyl that they need. If they order it online, then there's, you know, a 3-day wait for it to be delivered. Or they could go to a big box store and pay triple the price for a less amount.
And when you're saying you're going to do sublimation, is that going to be printed on what type of paper and then heat pressed onto the shirts?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of paper will you be using?
It's a specialty paper called A-Sub. It's designed specifically for sublimation. You can use regular copy paper, but the only difference is A-Sub sublimation paper, it holds, I mean, it releases the ink more efficiently than what regular copy paper does.
And what type of printer will you be using with that? Oki Data, inkjet, or?
It's an inkjet. I have a Epson Workforce 7710, and I've actually converted it over into a sublimation printer. I've saved around $400 by converting a Epson as to buying a sublimation printer that is designed for sublimation. But it works efficiently and it does the same. It's just was cheaper to convert it myself.
And you talked about buying a multi-needle embroidery machine. What type of machine do you have your eye on?
I currently have a Singer single needle, so I'm looking into a Brother. I don't know if I want a 6 needle or if I want a 10 needle. So I'm really undecided, but I'm shooting probably more toward the 6 needle because I just think a 10 needle would be too much for any job that I would ever do.
Right, and what are the costs on those?
They range anywhere from $2,500 to $20,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Karen, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Right now, you said you had, approximately 1,000 square feet for this room. I'm not familiar with all the equipment that you have and what you use. Is this place big enough, or will you have room to put this other equipment that you're talking about buying, or will you have to eventually go into a bigger place?
No, it is the perfect amount of space for what I need because it's actually petitioned off into 4 different rooms plus a bathroom. Right now I have everything contained to a 10 by 12 bedroom. So the 1,000 square foot is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get started.
Good. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay,
We're fine here.
great. Mike, you're up. And we see you.
Maybe we're getting there.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, my name is Mike Mathis. I'm the owner and operator of Mike's Mobile Blasting. I'm a startup business. I have 32 years of experience in the automotive and restoration field. Very much interested in trying to preserve anything old. I think it is very important to preserve history and save all the old history that we have around us. This is my machine. It actually uses a crushed recycled glass media instead of a sand media, like most usual sandblasting units will use, which is very messy, very dusty. Mine's actually uses water with it, so it's no dust, very easy containment of the mess. It's not hazardous to your health like sand is. It's not hazardous to the health of the people that's around the work that you're doing. A lot of people don't think of that. They'll use a sandblaster and they'll run out and buy a bag of play sand or traction sand and throw it in there and start blasting. It's got the silica in it, which causes cancer. It's very dangerous. Wet blasting system does not produce any dust at all whatsoever. It can be used in areas of like construction where there's other people working around, factories where you've got other people working around. You don't have to shut the job site down to do a job with it. And it is a mobile unit that I can go to the person to do the job. But I also have a shop of my own that so far that's what I've been doing is what little bit of I've used it. I've been doing it at my shop because I have liability insurance at my shop already. I'm going to have to get liability for once I start traveling and doing blast jobs. But it's a mobile unit that I can take to jobs that can't be brought to me. But still, if the job can be brought to me, then I can save them some money by me not having to travel to the job. It's quick and clean, and we can come to you. Perfect for restoring all types of vehicles, including fleet, heavy machinery, trucks, tractors, trailers, auto accessories such as wheels and frames. We can remove paint, primer, rust, chloride, Bondo, and more, all while leaving behind a paint-ready surface and preventing flash rust for up to 72 hours. And the reason it can do that is where it's a wet blasting system, I have to put a solution in there that's called a rust inhibitor, and it keeps it from flash rusting or rusting for 72 hours. You couldn't blast wet if you didn't have something like it in there. It would rust instantly. Now, I've been in the automotive industry all my life, but this thing is really versatile and it can go a lot wider than just the automotive industry. And what you're looking at here is concrete. It's a sidewalk area you're seeing it before it was blasted and after it was blasted. So it can clean and bring concrete back to like a new surface. It can be sealed, or it can be painted or stained. It texturizes it. It etches it to where the paint will stick. I know just about everybody's seen people that has porches that's concrete that they can't get the paint to stick to. It's because the concrete's too smooth and it ain't porous enough for the paint to soak into. Well, this thing, it'll etch it to where the paint will adhere to it. You won't have that problem anymore. I'm sure y'all have seen graffiti, especially in a lot of cities and a lot of back roads. But I can remove graffiti. No matter what type of structure it's on, I can remove it. If it's on brick, masonry, if it's on metal now, it'll bring the paint and all. It would have to be repainted if it was on metal. But any type brick mortar structures, I can remove the graffiti without damaging the building. Now this is a sample of a house. that's been blasted. And you can see on the left, the house had some painted brick, and on the right, you can see where it's been stripped and brought it back to the new condition. A lot of old houses got painted because the brick got old and got dirty. The mortar would get dirty and it would just start looking bad, and people thought the best way around it was to paint it. But now it can be brought back like new. I can also do the wood deck flooring, the railings, just about any type surface they are out there, I can adjust to it and strip it and bring it back like new. And this is another example of a house that was an old house that had been painted over the years, and as you paint them, the paint will eventually start coming off. Then it gets painted again, and then you get multiple layers of paint, places where paint's peeled and been painted over, and it starts looking really bad. Well, in this case, the whole structure was stripped, and this would be really good for restoring an old structure that you want to bring back to original type condition. If it had the wood window frames, they could be stripped. Wood porches and decking, any kind of wood structures around it could be stripped and brought back like new and repainted. The house below is just another example. You can see the lower side of it where on the left it was painted, on the right they brought it back to the new condition. And this is just an example of a job. It's actually a building that's over at Abingdon. The place is for sale or for lease now, and I have intentions of contacting the realty company who has it to let them be aware of what I can do. This building has had a mural painted on it, and you can see where they painted over it, and it's kind of ruined the looks of the front of the building. And I kind of think that would deter somebody from wanting to buy that building and use it the way it is. And, you know, I could bring that building back in new condition, brand new brick looking condition. I can do the walks. I can do the paint marks on the pavement can be stripped off. I mean, it's unreal what can be done with it. A lot of these structures like this, you'll see they'll get bought and the building will get torn down anyway, and they'll build back new. To me, that's a waste. A perfect building like this, I think, needs to be reused. Heavy equipment and even airplanes.
I'm sorry, you have 40 seconds left. I got too involved.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's because I was keeping you interested. Okay, this is heavy equipment and airplanes can be stripped. This here is a tanker off of for a concrete mixing truck. It'll strip concrete as well. It'll strip the paint off so you can bring them back like new condition. It can even clean stuck on concrete from the inside of the tank. Farm equipment. This is an old truck I actually done here not long ago. This is how bad the condition the frame was in. And it was a farm truck, and the truck was about beyond use. And I went to them, and this is what I started with. This is what it ended up like. And the brown that you see on there is the sand that hasn't been washed and cleaned off yet, but it brought it back to new condition. What bad places they had can be repaired now, and frame can be painted, and they've got a lot more life left on the truck.
Time's up.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike.
Great job. Great job, Mike. Okay, judges, questions?
I have one. Where are you located, Mike? You said you have a shop right now. Where is that?
It's over in Council, Virginia. I've actually owned my shop since probably back around 2000, 2001. I built it myself, and I've done all automotive mechanic work and restoration work out of it ever since. But I do work another job too.
Okay. Is this, when you use this equipment, is it typically just you do it, or do you have to have someone help you with that equipment and those type of jobs?
I try to schedule it. I mean, it's pretty flexible on being able to schedule this type of work. So I usually schedule it to where it'll fall on the weekend, or if I can do it in the evening or something, I'll work it to where I can do it myself. But I do have somebody on standby for part-time work if I need them that has helped me with it and knows the machine and knows how to operate it. my plans is to get it up and going good enough to where I can do it full time, and then I want to add on another machine and bring somebody on full time to operate it. It's
Okay.
the possibilities are endless. Anything you can imagine can be cleaned, stripped, or repainted, and there's just so much work out there. It's just a matter of getting the word out and people knowing that it's around, because it's a new industry. The competition, closest one I know of, is in Knoxville.
I was going to ask you, does anybody around this area do that right now? I hadn't really heard of that, so I didn't know
No,
if anybody around here.
it's a new industry. The wet blasting industry is just now coming around. There are some sandblasting people around, but to me, there's really no comparison between the sandblasting and then the wet blasting that I do, because I'm doing it with crushed glass. It's so much safer, environmentally friendly. I can do it right beside of a creek, and I can contain it easy. There's just so many more pluses to it. If you try to do that type of work with sand, you'll dust the whole community down.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can I make one more remark right quick?
Please.
Go for it.
The picture of the caboose there, I just wanted to let y'all know that that's something you wouldn't really even think about. But now this caboose resides over in Homeacre, and I've got a quote in on it now. They're wanting it stripped and repainted, brought back to new condition, because it's kind of the eyepiece in the middle of town. They want it fixed. I mean, it's just use your imagination, things you don't even think about. There's work out there to be done. And seeing stuff like this get restored and brought back to new condition, and something you can drive by every day and your family can see it 20 years down the road and say, my dad done that, and it still looks good. I mean, that would make me proud.
If no one else has anything, I have another question. This is Karen again. If you won this challenge money, what are your plans to use this money for? What are you going to invest in?
I still need some additional equipment to go with the machine I have. I need a good quality water hose and hose reel that I can mount to the machine, and the same with the air. I need it's got its own compressor, and it's got its own water pump, own water system, own water tank. So I need a hose reel for air and a good air hose reel, and I need some personal protective equipment. They have a real good hood that you can get that's heated and cooled, and it keeps you from breathing any of the particles that comes away from it. You will get some paint particles and stuff like that, and you'll get a little bit of blowback if you get in a tight spot. It keeps it out of your face, and it's got tear offs, and it's just be a heck of a lot better than using a mask, because it seems like every 2 or 3 minutes I'm having to take my mask off and clean it. And
Do you estimate that those items that you've mentioned would cost you?
well, the personal protective equipment's going to be a little over $1,000.
Okay.
And the hose reels and the hoses are probably, for the good quality, probably going to be around $400.
Okay.
And then my media, I buy my blast media, a pallet at a time, and you're looking at close to $500 a pallet for that. And I need to keep a few pallets on hand at all times.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Mary, anybody on your end have any other questions?
Yeah. No, I think we're fine.
Okay, Sherry, you are up.
How do you do it? Text resolutions.
Sherry? Hello?
Hello.
Sure, you there? Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, this is Greg, and am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying it on my phone. I was having a problem with the computer, and of course, it's obviously this is Greg and not Sherry. She had a school board meeting this afternoon and wasn't able to get away from that. So I'll do my best to make our presentation. She was planning on doing. She actually had a video of the of our presentation, and I can't get that to work on the computer anyway, but that's okay. I just like to thank everyone for the opportunity to be here and for the opportunity for this challenge. We are a fruit and vegetable market along with greenhouses and with a greenhouse, and we have flowers, and we offer a wide variety of flowers and things, and that there's only one other place in the county that I know that has the kind of even close to variety that we have. And we have like your tropicals and all your garden plants. And with this pandemic thing that's going on now, seems like a lot of people are going back to the old their gardens and home gardens and things like that. And so we're offering all those tomato plants, cabbage plants, all the things that go with your little home garden, along with we have hanging baskets, ferns, all those things, any kind of hanging basket about it. And if we don't have it, if someone asks, we get it and stock it. As far as our fruit and vegetable market, we have pinto beans and several different types of beans, and we offer fresh. That's called a new crop pinto bean, which we have nothing that's less. It comes out every September, so all our stuff is extremely fresh. Several varieties of beans. We have fresh green beans in season as they come available. We have all your typical things that would be in a farmer's market. We buy all fresh. Potatoes, any type of potatoes. And recently we were able actually to, we try to provide a service for the community. We want to go back in time, with computers and all this fast age. We're trying to go back to a time when you had and make people have a homey feel again, and then where neighbors are neighbors and they're more than a customer. We want them to be our neighbors and our friends. And so that's the feel we want our market to have. We had a lady come in the other day and she looked around and she said, wow, this is almost like being down in Boone, North Carolina. So we're trying to have that kind of feel with and I wish our video would have worked, but it won't. So I'll explain. We took rough lumber like you would build a barn out of, and that's how their shelves are built out of. Have a little roof on top. The top of it's off an old chicken house that was probably 40 years old and been laying out in the weather and all rusty. So we want that home comfortable feel. I have a barrel from my grandfather's barn that's over 100 years old that we have a stainless steel barrel down in it that we store our pinto beans in to sell them. We have I have a saddle that was my great grandmother's, a side saddle. A lot of people don't even know what a side saddle is now. So we have things like that to bring back. I have a dinner bucket that was my wife's when she's in the first grade, and I'm going to tell her age if I'm not careful, but it was a Popeye dinner bucket, if anybody remembers Popeye. We offer a wide variety of candies, old-time candies. Now, we have some modern. We have a lot of old-time candies. I know y'all remember the old gum orange slices. We have offered those in 2 different sizes like our grandparents used to have. We have the chocolate covered cream drops. We have BB bats and kits, and if you know about those, you're telling your age. So we have RC and cola and moon pies, and have a variety of knee-high glass bottle drinks that just seem to have a better flavor and brings you back in time again. Again, we're trying to make the feel like we had when NC Nice Wonder at his market or when the Friendly Market was around. We're offering things that you're not going to go into the big mass-produced stores and the big stores, we have things that they don't have. We more than anything else, we offer make it personable and make it very personal with people. We want them to feel at home, not just a place to come get food, but feel at home. We had an instance the other day that people got panicked over pinto beans. Well, lo and behold, we had pinto beans. I bought, and this is kind of funny, I bought 1,000 pounds of pinto beans. My wife laughed, and she thought, you're going to have a lot of beans for a long time. I actually ended up with 1,100 pounds. Today, as we speak, I have 100 pounds left in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. I found out that potatoes were getting short, so in short supply for a short time. And even when they were available, the prices were being up extremely high, up to $7, $8, $9 for a 10-pound bag. I have them for $4.99, and they were available at a time when the people were panicking. They were actually buying seed potatoes to cook, there's nothing wrong with it, but the seed potatoes made to plant. It's the same potato, but it's made to plant. But they were actually getting scared. So in a time when people were having problems, we were able to supply some things and are able to supply some food varieties and things that it wasn't readily available at other places. So we have some good resources, thankfully. And, of course, in season, we have a 9 by 12 walk-in cooler, and we're able to keep cold watermelons, cantaloupes. We have pears, we have fresh apples in season. When it'll get in September, October, November, we'll have as many as 19 or 20 varieties of apples. And we stock several apples. We will sell 30 to 35 bushel of apples every week and a half during the summer, because ours haven't been gassed or done anything to preserve them. They're fresh, as fresh can be. At this time of the year, we're down to 3 kinds of apples. That's all that's available. That's the kind that are stored. They've been stored since fall, but ours haven't been gassed or done anything to chemically enhance them in any way. They're not waxed or polished. They're like if you went to the mountain and picked them yourself. We, in season, we offer fresh strawberries. I go down in South Carolina, I call an orchard one night. We offer fresh peaches. If I call tonight, the next morning at 9 or 10 o'clock, they're bringing peaches out of the field to me, fresh from the field, not in a place where someone said, oh, they're fresh and then they're 3 or 4 days old. Ours are not. They're totally fresh, directly out of the orchard. We have, in the store part, we also offer all kinds of jams, jellies, Amish jams and jellies. We offer molasses, which is the old time molasses, not this stuff that you buy in one of these chain stores, but it's the real deal that's made down in Kentucky and in North Carolina, the old time way with horses. So we have that the ladies like to bake with. So we offer those. We offer honeys. We offer local honeys along with the North Carolina honeys, but I buy every jar of local honey I can get. I have 2 good suppliers, one here in Buchanan County, just out of the city limits, another one down at the Kentucky state line, but they've been very good customers.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay, thank you, Mary. So we offer that, and we have people to come in that doctors actually tell them, and not, of course there's not a prescription for it, but they actually tell them they need local honey for allergies. So we have been able to supply that. It's a good selling item and good for the people and for their health. Let's see. We're also in doing what we do. We need to have potting soil and we need to have bags of mulch and things like that. And that's one of the things we're asking for as far as this challenge, to be able to use that in order to be able to expand, because you have to buy large quantities of the potting soil and large quantities of the bags of mulch in order to be able to stock them. So we need that to help along with adding to our store. We offer on Fridays, and I know I don't have much time, but on Fridays we have fresh baked Amish breads and Amish goods, all the Amish goodies that you would have to go out of town and maybe into another state in order to be able to get. So
Time's up.
Okay, thanks. But I want to thank everyone. I appreciate the experience. And my wife, I've been to 2 of the meetings. My wife told me all about it, and she does apologize that she wasn't able to come. You know, her job has to be, that's her job. So, but anyway, we'd like to thank everyone, and we've enjoyed the challenge.
Well, thanks so much. Judges, questions?
Karen, do you have any?
Yes, please. Greg, I noticed you just recently, and I've been in your new facility. Do you think that the moving closer into town will help your business?
Yes, tremendously. We have there's several different reasons. I think one thing, this is the old Texaco station in Grundy, and the place where the ladies used to wash cars, and there were several different things back down through history that the people have used. So it's kind of a staple of the community, and now we're bringing it back to life. And we actually, the access from the road is much safer. I get comments daily on how much better the parking is, how much more accessible it is. Along with, I'm getting my neighbors who walk down, and and they're doing their part to stay away from other people. They come in here. I had ladies to come in my store actually to get flowers. They left loads because there were so many people in there. So we offer a smaller thing that way. But yes, to answer you, we have a tremendous amount of different clientele now.
Also, before when you were actually down below Grundy, I don't know personally if you ever got a lot of traffic. You know, we have a lot of people that come out of the Bradshaw area and things too that come out of Slate Creek and would probably just go to the Walmart and Food Cities and things here. I personally think you may get some more of that type of business that didn't come on down below Grundy. Do you anticipate that as well?
I do. I have had several comments that they didn't like to come. Even you wouldn't think 2 miles would make a difference, but it makes a tremendous amount. But the areas you mentioned, I have people from Bradshaw Mountain, even when I was down there that were regulars would come every week from those places. I have them coming from Phelps, down in the Kentucky area, from over Sand Lick and over the Hayside area. Yeah, I think my business is going to do quite a bit more. It's just more accessible for everyone, and I think we're beginning already in the short amount of time since the first that we've moved in. The things we're selling is changing. We're selling more. We didn't hardly ever could sell lettuce or different of things like that, to do just different items that we didn't normally sell. We now are beginning to sell, and I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm having to learn how to order again. It's not business as usual. It's picked up. It's great, and so I'm in another learning curve. I bought a pallet of watermelons Monday, which should have done me for a week and a half. I'm out. I've got 1 watermelon left, so I'm going in the morning to get another load of flowers and more watermelons and more stuff. So it's in a positive way. It's great.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Greg, what about the possibility of expansion?
Now what?
You have a possibility of expanding your business to the right or the left any?
I'm sorry. You have to try it one more time.
He said,
do you have the
Go ahead,
Okay,
Sandy.
go ahead.
He's asking, can you expand either to the left or the right at your new location?
Well, there is a big concrete pad that belongs with this place, and I am going to eventually add some kind of a shed, or maybe even a more like a greenhouse type building with a pergola on the front, so we can hang our flowers and display our stuff even better. And if we are able to get the pot and soil and the mulch, then we'll be able to have it under cover. So yes, there is room to expand on both sides, actually.
Nobody here has any questions.
I'm sorry.
I was saying no one here has any more questions.
Okay, and thank you, then. I appreciate everything y'all done.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, folks, that pretty much covers all of the business pitches that we've got. Just a reminder, if you've not already, please email your business plans over to me tonight so that I can forward those on to our judges. I want to thank the Chamber for being a partner in this program with Virginia Community Capital. I especially want to thank the Buchanan County IDA and the Town of Grundy IDA for sponsoring the awards. We could not do this without them. And if you see any of those folks in your community, please, you can't shake their hand, but please express your gratitude for allowing us to sponsoring this and letting us bring this to Buchanan County. And then finally, I want to mention Thompson Charitable Foundation. They've been a sponsor for the last couple of years, and not just in what we're doing at Virginia Community Capital, but a number of programs in Buchanan County and as well as Tazewell County. So does anybody have any other questions before we conclude tonight's pitch night, which is a first for me doing it as a webinar? Just remember, you have to unmute. Murray, you have any comments?
I'd just like to thank everybody that participated. I'm real excited about when we do get to announce the winners. Whenever we can get together. This has been an experience for me. So, and we did have a good night of technology tonight, thank goodness. So, and thank you, Sandy.
My pleasure. And that brings up a good point. Each one of you all that have hung on the last 6 weeks, especially over the past 3 weeks when we had to change from meeting in person to webinar, you all have embraced this. So give each other or give yourself a pat on the shoulder. You deserve this, because I know that several of you, this was the first time you ever even heard of Zoom other than seeing that on a Roadrunner cartoon or something like that. But y'all have done great. I'm very impressed with each of your projects, and I think you're a great fit for Buchanan County. So any last questions? Going once, going twice. Well, thanks. We will be in touch once the judging is done, and we can figure out when we'll be able to announce the winners. Again, continue that patience as we get through this new uncharted water. But be safe and healthy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.